Hello everyone and welcome back to Age Nagash. I'm very happy to be back and first time ever recording from the new hobby room behind me. So this is absolutely amazing to be recording from here now, and it kind of leans into what I want to talk about in this short video, saying where I've been, why I've decided to come back now, and why I'd like to stay consistent getting back onto YouTube. So essentially where I've been waiting to sort of come back onto YouTube is because where I've taken quite a bit of time out of the hobby, sort of like focusing a lot more on work and things I had to do, I wanted to wait because I wanted to come back to YouTube after I've been playing quite a few games of Age of Sigmar and getting to a competitive level. But then what I've realised is if I keep waiting to get back onto YouTube when I'm at the level where I'm going to tournaments and stuff, I may be waiting for quite some time. So I think it's best just to get back onto YouTube rather than waiting for even longer, because essentially that's why it hadn't really been on for the last couple years. I don't really want to wait too much longer than that, because the thing is with YouTube as well, where I've been off for quite a while, what it did make me realise is just how much I missed it. And I will say now that a lot of people had left comments or sent me messages to see if I was doing okay and why I was gone, so I really much do appreciate that. And if I didn't reply, essentially it's nothing bad about you, it's just I really do appreciate the reaching out. It's very nice of you firstly, but it's more like I felt like I was letting the community down and stuff a little bit by like not engaging onto YouTube. So when I stopped making videos for YouTube for a while to do all, like I said, real life stuff, I felt like I didn't really want to be in the Discord and in messages with people, just because, like I said, nothing against them, it's purely from me, but it's like I felt a bit guilty. So I'm like, I'm still sort of representing this Asian Nagash YouTube channel, but I'm not actually making videos, so it feels a bit, you know, a bit like you're pretending to do it. And I know that's just being silly and it's not that, but to me that's what it felt like it was. So I didn't want to really sort of engage into a community that I wasn't really contributing towards, if that makes sense. But I decided to come back now because I realised just how much I do miss making these videos. And I don't think you realise that until you take time away from it. And I think that's also, you know, by taking time away out of a community and stuff as well, you realise just how much you appreciated the people in that community as well, and just getting up to all the hobby and stuff. So that's sort of like where I've been, why I've waited, why I've made a few videos in the past saying that I'm coming back and then I didn't. And then why I decided to come back now. And then essentially the other thing to mention with YouTube is just how much it has changed over the last, I mean, since I started, which I can't really remember now. I think I must have started doing YouTube about, I was going to say 5 years ago, probably about 6 years ago, something like that. And I realised that that has taken time out sometimes, stuff. So it's not a consistent block of time, but for a large part of it, it was. I think I was very consistent on YouTube for probably about 3 years, going from first edition Age of Sigmar to second edition Age of Sigmar as well as the most consistent. And then it sort of dropped off a bit in third edition, and then fourth edition completely dropped off. I made a couple of videos talking about new rules coming out for fourth edition, but that was about it. Certainly nothing really in depth. And I think that's where I kind of found a problem, was because Age of Sigmar had came from a game where I really liked, and I still really enjoy it today, but it was from a position of the rules didn't get released as often, and there was only one General's Handbook a year, which I think is pretty much the case now. But for a little while there was like 2 General's Handbooks in a year, and it's just, as a YouTuber who's someone who works at the time and still now sometimes like 100-hour weeks at work, just can't keep up with it essentially. So I didn't want to give out advice for something that I didn't know what I was talking about, and essentially I just didn't want to talk bollocks to you, because I respected my audience too much to essentially, one of the ideas thought about was, well, why don't I just watch someone else's YouTube video, take what they have to say, regurgitate it into what I want to say, just to like stay relevant and keep the YouTube channel going. And I didn't want to do that because that's just completely dishonest, and I mean, this is a hobby, so what's the point of doing it if you're not going to give your own opinions? So I didn't want to give advice for a game that I wasn't able to keep up on, was the other thing. But now, like I said, how much I've missed being playing it, so that's why I've been getting back into it, etc. And the other reason I want to be talking about how much YouTube has changed, obviously, that's mainly the game changing since then, but YouTube itself, like especially over the last, well, like I say, since I started, I don't want to say I was one of the first Age of Sigma YouTube channels, but I was probably one of the first 20 or 30, something like that. I'm not too sure, but now there is literally, I don't want to say hundreds, but there's so many, especially just as Warhammer as a whole. And it's where I've been watching some people where I've been out of the hobby for a while, like good YouTube friends that I had, like 2+ Tough, AOS Coach, some other people as well. They've done some amazing content to be watching, of fair play to them as well, and Luke Stone and people like that. So hats off to them for doing really well, and obviously the Honest Wargamer. So it's been great to watch those videos, and those are the sort of YouTube channels that I've been used to. But coming off the suggestion box now, there's so many YouTube channels. So it's like, wow. So it's gone from a place where, like I said, when I first started this, I literally wanted to make videos about the Grand Alliance death, because nobody else was doing that, and I just wanted to watch some videos about skeletons while I was painting my skeletons. And YouTube has changed massively since there, where it's like, well, I kind of came into Field of Void, which was initially about Grand Alliance death content, and then it went into sort of doing deep dive army reviews, and then that turned into doing why play videos, which was a huge series that I started. And again, I don't know, I was the first person to do like why play videos, but I knew that I was probably one of the first persons. But now I see there's so many stuff like that, and so many YouTubers. So it's one of those sort of things. This really comes into a question what I want to ask you as well, is along the lines of what would you like to see me do? Would you like me to go back to the stuff that I was doing, which was along the lines of in-depth faction reviews of the armies, which did take a long time to do, but I was happy doing it. I like the idea of leaving no stone unturned sort of thing, really going deep diving into these factions, and not just what some people review these factions. They're like, oh no, that's terrible, don't say that, do this, do that, and very quick videos. Essentially, I used to go through everything. I think I talked about Chaos Spawns, which were very bad at the time, for a good half an hour or something, just to try and give them a chance. So yeah, would you like to still see stuff like that? Because I know also, like I said, the why play videos, etc., are very popular, but I know that there's so many people doing that now, and there's like, I think when I was browsing YouTube and stuff, and obviously things come up and all that sort of thing, I sort of see someone describing every faction in Age of Sigma, and I can't remember, but I think it had 200, 300,000 views or something ridiculous like that. So I kind of look at that and I'm like, right, well, if someone's already doing that and it's that popular, is there any point me coming along and trying to resume doing what I was doing, or not? And then the other thing with that as well is what I'd say is what we see pop up now is so many shorts or reels of Warhammer. And don't get me wrong, I really like them as well, but they're videos that are obviously 20 seconds long, up to a minute long, that sort of thing. And they seem to be quite a popular form of content now, in terms of because people can just watch it when they scroll. And I don't really know if that's something that I would want to do, because like I say, I like the in-depth reviews. You know me, I ramble a lot, and I've been rambling now for about 10 minutes in this video, without scripts, etc. But also with those short videos, I feel like there's a lot of, and I don't want to take credit away from anyone because I have no idea, but I feel like there's quite a lot of use of ChatGPT, etc. in that thing. Like if I typed in ChatGPT and I said, give me a script to make a YouTube video on Soul Black Grave Lords and why to take, I don't know, Prince Bahordre or just something random, right? I'm pretty sure ChatGPT would give me a step-by-step way to construct a video. And there's two ways to look at that. There's a way to look at it as it's just a more effective way of doing it, which maybe actually translates better for the audience, because there's not as much distraction stuff going on in the video. It's very much detailed, to the point, all that. But it kind of takes some of the creativity of it out, and kind of the human of it out of it, which is kind of why maybe people watch YouTube videos. But I understand that with ChatGPT, for example, is something that I use a lot in daily life, and it's if you don't use it, you're going to get left behind. So it's another thing to think about, and that's why I wanted to talk about in this video. Really, sort of talk about what you guys would want to see, and to kind of help me, or like just kind of guide in what you want to see from my channel, or if you think there is enough YouTube channels out there already for Warhammer and I can just play some games on the lovely table behind me. So I should actually mention the hobby table we've got here in the hobby room is a 6x4 table, and obviously a couple of cabinets and stuff behind us, which has obviously got some models already filled in it and some artwork and all that sort of thing on the wall, which is really, really nice to have. And what that does mean is I could do battle reports in the future, which is something that I never really could before. I did a few of them, but they were very like, set up in a living room, moving everything aside, not really having enough space to walk around the table. Here you can walk around all the sides of the table, so it's not really a problem, which is nice. And also we can keep up all the time. So even if I recorded a battle report and it's like, right, this evening I haven't got a lot of time, but I could play this battle over 2 evenings. You could, set up, play half the game one evening, finish the game second evening, obviously all record it in one thing, edit it and all that sort of stuff. And then it means that you could still produce a battle report, which is something else. But yeah, so lots more opportunities here. Like I say, literally got a whole room dedicated to hobby now, which is really nice. Really nice to have those cabinets behind me. They're the ones that they have at Warhammer World as well, because I wanted to have my own little Warhammer World away from Nottingham, even that's only about 100-200 miles away, which I know is not very far compared to a lot of people around the world. But yeah, so that is kind of all I wanted to really say in this video. Kind of just saying that I'm back, sort of saying that I want to be more consistent this time. I'm not gonna lie, it won't be like I was before, where I think at one point I was chucking out like 4 videos a week or something. It would be less than that, but it would be a bit like a steamroll or a snowball going down a mountain. As I got more and more into it, it would pick up more, and I got more into sort of like getting back into this again, because it's it takes a bit of time out, and it takes a bit of time to get back into it today. And but that's why I wanted to make this video, and I hope that you guys can tell me in the comments what you want me to make, because like I said, YouTube has changed a lot. And I know, like, I think last time I made a video was like 18 months ago, but then before that it was like 4 months ago, so it was a bit of a gap as well. But this 2 years has been huge, like I said, in AI and so many YouTube channels and stuff popping up. So I wanted to ask you guys what you'd like to see from me, if you'd like in-depth faction reviews, or you think those videos are too long, if you'd like shorter content from me, if you'd like to see battle reports in the future, or if you'd like me to keep going with those like why play this army, how to start collecting this army. And what I would say as well, to be completely honest, where I had been out of the game such a long time, but I've been getting back into it now, when I give you my thoughts and stuff in the videos, it will be absolutely my honest personal thoughts on whatever I'm talking about. But if you feel like, oh, he hasn't mentioned this, or like, oh, this is actually a good thing to add onto it, leave it in the comments, because I'll definitely be learning from your experiences as well. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I know that there's been a lot of people saying nice things and stuff, like I said, in messages and comments and stuff, so I wanted to thank you all very much for being nice like that. And sorry I hadn't replied to you. I just sort of like, I'm one of these people that I'm either like 100% on something, or I'm not, and for better or for worse. So that's why I didn't, maybe reply. Or to be honest with you, I just didn't even look at the YouTube channel. I'll obviously still go on YouTube and stuff to watch videos and stuff, but today was like the first time, today being Friday the 21st of November, is the first time I actually clicked on YouTube where it says like, view your own channel, and actually went through some of the comments and all that sort of stuff. And it's kind of inspired me to make this video today, to be honest, because I saw there was a lot of people who were still commenting. And what I also was surprised about, was just like, I thought I was going to go on there, and it's kind of the other reason why I didn't do it, because you go on there, you think, you've lost like 2/3 of your subscribers or something. And I think over like not being active on YouTube for about 2 years, I lost maybe 100 or something like that, which is Huge in a good way, as in small amount of subscribers that had, I'm surprised more people didn't leave, because if the channel's not making any content, why do you still subscribe to it? So I'm really grateful to all my subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much for doing that. If you've come across this video and you forgot to unsubscribe, you wanted to, absolutely fair enough. But thank you to everyone who stayed with me. Really, really nice to see. And yeah, so I'm excited. Like I said, I've missed doing this for a long time. I've kind of like just got fed up of going around in circles, going like, no, I'll get into it when I get playing much more competitively at tournaments, or I will get into it after the new General's Handbook. There's no point getting into it now, because there's a new General's Handbook coming out, in a few months, or a new edition. Because like I said, I hadn't really done too much AOS 3rd edition stuff, and then AOS 4th edition stuff came out, and then that was like 18 months ago or something. So time just flies, and if you don't do something now, you never will. So you're better off just getting on with it. And with that, I've been rambling now for about 15 or so minutes. So thank you very much for your time. If you are still watching this, imagine if you are, then you are interested in the channel going forward. And I'm very interested in what you have to say. And I promise to you, I will reply to you in this video. So guys, as ever, thank you very much for watching this channel. Hope you've been keeping well over the last couple of years, doing well, keeping healthy, and your hobby's been doing well, and your pile of shame hasn't grown, but hopefully it's got smaller. Well, as ever guys, and good to say again, Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.